Hey there, guys, gals, and non binary pals. GM Potter here. Today, sorry, my cat just jumped on my desk. Come here, Malcolm. Say hi. Get down. I know you're mad. Yeah. Today, I want to talk about the Dreamers and Readers Festival. I was supposed to be one of the authors at this festival. I signed up for it in, I want to say, July. I was very excited to be a part of it. I was so excited. It felt like a dream come true. I was so excited. It was a 3-day event. It was the biggest event I've ever done, bigger than anything I've ever done. And I was going to sell a lot of books. I was going to get a ticket to a fantasy ball. I was going to get to dress up. I haven't had the chance to dress up fancy since I got married almost 15 years ago. I haven't gone dancing since my senior prom in 2007. Like, I was so excited, and after all sorts of awful things that have happened since July, health-wise, and personal things that have happened since July that have deeply impacted me, I needed this. I needed something good. And then on Tuesday, as I was getting into bed, like it was 8:45, about 8:45 at night, I was getting into bed. I'm usually in bed at 8:30, asleep by 9. I stayed up a little later because I was dealing with some stuff. And I get this email that says that we're canceling from the event staff, saying that we're canceling the event and that we've got a lot of fees and a lot of expenses that we have to pay, but your refund is of the utmost importance to us. And I started having a panic attack. I forwarded the email to my partner and said, "Can you read this? Because I can't reread this. My eyes aren't working. I don't know what I'm looking at anymore." And they were gracious enough to read it and to call me and to get me calmed down. And the contract that I signed states that I will be getting a refund. As of right now, I have been informed that I and the other authors have had refunds issued, that they were issuing them in the order that we paid our deposits, but that the refunds are getting issued as we speak. If you haven't gotten your refund yet, it should be coming any day now, 5 business days. So that would be next week on Wednesday. I should have it in my account. If I don't, I'm going to raise holy hell, and we will see. But this is the second big book event that I know of. There's probably dozens of others that has been canceled on no notice, and that everybody is left scrambling because this event, Dreamers and Readers, was supposed to be here in the Dallas area March 6th through 8th. We were supposed to set up on the 5th, that's the Thursday, Friday morning, be there bright and early, smiles on, ready to go, sell our books, sell our bookish wares, talk to people about books. It's going to be so exciting. And then that night I was supposed to go to the opening day ball, and less than 3 weeks, like 2.5 weeks from when we're supposed to set up, it's not happening. And it was absolutely heartbreaking. I realize that I'm in a place of privilege because I did not have to travel for this one. I did not have to make flight arrangements. I did not have to make hotel arrangements. I didn't have to ship my books or my merchandise in. Some of the people who were there have their books in transit now to the Gaylord Texan in, I think it's Grapevine, or it's already there, and now they've got to pay to have it shipped back. That they're scrambling, and I realize I'm in a place of privilege because I don't have that problem. I'm still hurting because I spent thousands of dollars getting ready for this event, ordering extra books, ordering all of the bookmarks and the little cards and the little things that make it special and make it extra to give customers a good experience and to give people a good intro to my work and the outfit that I was going to wear to the ball. And like I thrifted a dress because I couldn't find any um, that were in my size that were a price that I was able to pay. But then I ordered a pair of fairy wings and I got new jewelry for it. And I was so excited. And it was going to be great. And my partner took off work, which we could have used that money. And so now they're asking the person who's covering their shifts if they would like those days off instead. And I will take those shifts back. And I went from feeling panic to feeling rage. I feel right now, I feel angry and a little bit betrayed and extremely frustrated. I saw another video on YouTube from a creator I don't know. It just popped up on my feed, which inspired me to make this video. And that was it was like an 8-minute video. It was under 10 minutes. And they're saying, yeah, this event got canceled, but maybe the authors should have known better after a million lives. And I'm like, it's a big event company. This is their first event in Dallas, but this isn't their first event, period. I watched a YouTube video of an author who did one from this same company in Colorado in December. Like, and she had a great time. She sold a lot of books. She had a fabulous time. And there's two ways that people are taking this. There's the, well, they should have known better. This is just awful. I guess they've learned a lesson. Like blaming the authors for being taken in by this. And then there's the local book community here in Dallas, which I am so thankful and so grateful for, that on social media, mostly on Instagram and Threads, which it could be on other platforms, but that's where I hang out and that's where I've seen it. Talking about maybe we'll do a book crawl that weekend through the local indie books, and maybe some of them can host authors and vendors in their bookstores, and like local photographers are offering discounted rates, talking about offering discounted rates to do photo sessions of these great looks that people were doing for the ball, because there was also going to be the Morally Gray fashion show, and that sounded really cool. I wanted to go dancing, so I signed up for the ball instead of tickets to the fashion show. But a friend of mine who does makeup and things was going to do the Morally Gray fashion show, and I don't get to see her now. The day it got canceled, I made a post for Instagram talking about it and how excited I was going to be, and you can get my books here, and this is what they're about, and blah, blah, blah. And the event organizers liked it and shared it. And then that night they canceled the event. We were given absolutely no warning, no indication that this would happen. The reason we were giving as to why the event was canceled was that the block of rooms at the event hotel, the Gaylord Texan, they didn't sell enough rooms in the room block. I remember seeing a post saying that there weren't that many rooms left in the room block, in the number of rooms that were available to rent out at the block price, that there weren't that many left. I can't find this post anymore. So either I'm misremembering, which is entirely possible, I am a fallible human being, or it's been deleted. And I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I remember seeing that post. I remember also seeing one, there's only a few days left to get your tickets on the room block. That one I can still find, but the post that says there's only a few rooms left in the block, I can't find. And there's been speculation I've seen on Threads from people who run events for hotels talking about how this isn't something that would get the event canceled, that they would have to be extremely negligent in their managing of funds, because The table fee, I will share this. I don't think I'm in breach of anything by sharing this. It was a $400 table fee. And since I'm in Texas, I had to pay state sales tax on that table fee. Um, so yeah, it's the highest table fee I've ever paid. Granted, it's for 3 days, but that's a lot of money. And I was expecting to at least recoup that. And yes, she says she's refunded me, but I haven't seen it yet. And I don't know if I have a lot of hope that it's actually coming. Because part of that is just me being pessimistic. I'm willing to admit that. That I'm just feeling defeated right now. But that was how much the table fee was. That was the explanation that we were given as to why it was canceled late on a Tuesday night, and then they made an Instagram post, and I checked the website, the Dreamers and Readers website, after I got the email, because I'm like, once I calmed down a little bit, and the page was still up, selling tickets. And people have been complaining enough that they made an Instagram post saying, "Oh, Eventbrite should have notified you that the event was canceled and you're getting refunded." That's Eventbrite's fault, and maybe it is, but I feel like the event organizers should have reached out too, because people who bought tickets, and these were not cheap tickets. I think it was $30 just to come in for one day of the expo, to buy books and bookish merch and just wander around. But in some cases, the tickets, if you wanted to do everything the whole 3 days, was over $1,000. And a few months back, they posted on the vendor page that they were nearing in. This was months ago, that they were nearly at 2,000 tickets sold, and that the ratio of guests to vendors was going to be 12-1. Well, that's a lot of money. And then $400 at least from everyone who's there. They released the map a couple months ago too, that letting us know where we would be. And I remember looking over it and seeing that some of the bigger vendors had multiple booths. They had a booth over here and a booth over there, and like, that's cool. I would love to have two booths or have a double booth or what have you. I'm a very small author, but hundreds of authors and vendors and small business owners and creators and cosplayers and content creators and patrons of the event, and it gets canceled at the last minute. It just doesn't make sense to me, and judging from what I've seen on threads, it doesn't make sense to a lot of other people either. I'm not saying that it was a mismanagement. I'm not saying that it's anything other than what it was presented as. I'm just saying I don't understand. And these are things that other people have alleged. There was also an issue with, like, if you go to their website, to the Fantastique collection, Un jour, I don't remember, it's in French, the Fantastique collection's website for the Dreamers and Readers, you can still search it and pull it up on Google for the Dreamers and Readers Festival, and click on it and go to that page, and it says, "We're sorry, this page is not found." It's like, it doesn't say that the event was canceled. It doesn't say how to get a refund or that a refund is forthcoming. It says that the page can't be found, which is also confusing. And it's just disheartening. One of the content creators who was doing reviews of the books, that the authors who were going to be there, we could ship. She was affiliated with the event, but not paid by the event. This was just something she was doing as an official content creator for the event. Like, you could mail her a book and she would review it. She reached out to me personally, which meant a lot. And I think she reached out to other authors personally as well to tell us how much she actually loved our books, and that she's disappointed that she doesn't get to meet us in person. And it was a beautiful shining spot in a sea of shit that there are good people involved in this event. I'm not sure that the people running the event were qualified. I'm not saying they're a bad person, but I don't think they were qualified to run this event, because everybody who's in Dallas knows the Gaylord Texan is like as expensive as it gets for an event space. Like, I've only ever been to one other event there, and it was really expensive. We got the tickets. My partner and I got the tickets as a gift. Like, that was our whole Christmas gift, was to go to this event there. And yeah, like, there's a lot of other places that you can do events cheaper. I think the Omni in actual Dallas is cheaper than the Gaylord Texan, at least for the size of space. Like, you could do it at the Kay Bailey in Dallas, the convention center. You could do, like, there's so many places in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex that you could have done this event for lower overhead and still had as great or better of a turnout for the prices you're charging. And then it wouldn't have had to be canceled. It just, the whole thing is aggravating and frustrating. And I'm reminded of the line from the intro song to The Music Man, and he doesn't know the territory. I think whoever, this is my opinion. This is not me stating a fact. I think whoever was running the event was not prepared for the scope and the size of the event that they were hosting. Because there are people flying in, from what I've seen on social media, there are people flying in from other countries to be there this in 2 weeks from now. There are people flying in from other countries to be here, and now they're scrambling to get refunds on flights. And the best we can do is charge you $100 for the privilege of canceling your ticket and give you a credit for the rest of it, is what most people are getting. Because that's just how airlines work, I guess. I don't know. I don't fly anywhere, so I don't really know. I don't really go anywhere. Like, I went to a wedding, I think 2 years ago now, and we drove. And that's about it. Like, I haven't left the state in like 2 years almost. And like, there's a lot to do in Dallas. You don't have to leave the state, but man, if I didn't need this. And I know a lot of other people, a lot of other authors and vendors and creators who needed this escape too. And I think that's ultimately what sucked us in, was looking for the escape, was looking for a place to be and to escape the horrors of reality and existence that we are dealing with at this moment in time, and to just let it all go and be happy for a minute. Like, to get away from the world and just lose yourself in a bookish reality. I saw another post on Threads that was like, well, this is a female targeted event. What did they think was going to happen? Women aren't the only ones who read. And I was like, it's not a female, it's a romantasy / fantasy ball. Currently, all the statistics I've seen is that women are the primary readers of romantasy and fantasy right now. Yes, men read these subjects too, and they're more than welcome to come. But yes, this was marketed primarily towards women, because women are the ones who read this genre. Women are the ones who write this genre. Like, and it wasn't for like Fourth Wing or Sarah J. Maas's books or what have you. It was just an escapist fantasy ball. And that could have been so beautiful. That could have been so beautiful. And it makes me so weary and wary of other events that I already had to back out of an event this fall because of my morals and my beliefs and political reasons that I just couldn't associate myself with them because I'm not for sale like that. And so I'm already taking a loss on an event. I'm taking the loss willingly. I fully admit and acknowledge that I am backing away and forfeiting my table fee. I didn't walk away from this one. I'm being forced away. And it just hurts. It hurts so much. And I know a lot of other authors out there are hurting. A lot of indie bookstores who are going to have booths are hurting. I know a lot of vendors. I'm friends with some of the vendors who are going to be there, and I was looking forward to it. The Thursday night setup, I was thinking it was going to be like a big slumber party that I was going to get to see all my author friends and vendor friends that I haven't seen in a while. And we were going to get to hang out and talk to each other. And some of the people that I only know from online that I've interacted with, we were all going to get to meet finally. And it was going to be amazing. And now we don't get to. And there have been a couple of alternative events. I think there's one in Virginia, which I can't afford to travel to. And there's one in California, which also I can't afford to travel to. And I think it's beautiful that other groups are putting on these events. I'm not diminishing that. I want something to be done in Dallas. And there is an unofficial council that has been formed between book vendors and some of the more well-established authors in the Dallas area and the independent bookstores to create an alternative event because we cleared our calendars for 3 days for this. Like, I had an event every weekend in March, and now I only have 3 events in March. And that sucks because this is my full-time job. Like, I'm too sick and broken to do anything else. And I really hope they can scrape something together. We're us authors and bookish vendors have been asked to be patient and to trust other people that they will help us and take care of us. And that's the last thing my brain wants me to do right now, is to trust another person that something good will happen. And I know a lot of other people are feeling that way too. I think I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to end it there. Thank you for watching. If you can, if you are able, support indie authors, especially local authors. It doesn't have to be me. I realize that I'm in Dallas. I don't know if I'm local to anybody who is or will be watching this. But support indie authors. We've taken a big hit, a couple of big hits in the last 2 years, and we could use the love. That indie books are just as good as traditionally published books. Indie authors need support, and when you buy from a small business or a small author, it makes our day, it makes our week, it makes our month, sometimes it makes our year. And when you buy from a mega corporation, they don't even notice. So consider shopping small when you can, businesses and authors alike. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.